Gurmash, do you have anybody there?
No one here.
Okay. Krishna Conte, you're welcome to lead. Otherwise, I can. Okay, I'll begin. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Satasri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jayādvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
Welcome everybody to Srimad Bhagavatam reading with His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami. It is Tuesday, December 30th, 2025. We are beginning with 424.70. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gurmaraj, do you want to begin?
Tamevatmanam Atmastam Sarvabhuteshvavastitam Pujayadvam Granantascha Dhyayantascha Sakritarim. Maybe someone could do the actual reading. I can perhaps comment.
Okay, I will. One moment. Just getting it on the right part of my screen. Okay. Translation of text 70. Therefore, O sons of the King, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is situated in everyone's heart. He is also within your hearts. Therefore, chant the glories of the Lord and always meditate upon him continuously. You're muted.
Yes, continue.
Purport. The word asakrit is significant, for it means not just for a few minutes, but continuously. That is the instruction given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shastaka. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. The holy name of the Lord should be chanted 24 hours daily. Therefore, in this Krishna consciousness movement, we request the devotees to chant at least 16 rounds on their beads daily. Actually, one has to chant 24 hours daily, just like Thakur Haridas, who is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra 300,000 times daily. Indeed, he had no other business. Some of the Goswamis, like Raghunath Das Goswami, were also chanting very rigidly and also offering obeisances very rigidly. As stated in Srinivasacharya's prayers to the six Goswamis, Sad Goswami Astika, Samkhya Purvika Nama, Gana Nati Bi, Kala Vasani Krito. The word Samkhya Purvika means maintaining a numerical strength. Not only was Raghunath Das Goswami chanting the holy name of the Lord, but he was also offering obeisances in the same prolific numbers.
Yes. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Shapadantika Pandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajiva Sadvaitam Savatutam Purjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitan Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vichamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Prashabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchako Patarupyascha Kapasindho Pyevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. The Lord Shiva is advising Granantha always chanting Jayanta, always meditating on the Lord, asakrit continuously. Oh, we may not be continuously chanting, but at least we should chant according to the requirements given by the spiritual master to which we've promised. Sometimes we may think that, oh, this is mechanical. Why should I chant a certain number? The number doesn't matter. It's the sincerity that matters. And of course, it's true. Sincerity is wanted. We want to chant with sincere desire to serve, with sincere affection for Krishna. But still, I may have affection or no affection. I may have keenness to serve or not much keenness to serve. But I should fulfill the vow I've made at the time of initiation and chant my prescribed number of rounds. Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Natibi. This is not something that Prabhupada has newly introduced, that we should chant some particular number. It's there. Haridas Thakur was chanting a particular number. The Goswamis were chanting according to numerical strength. So this is one of the practices of Krishna consciousness, to fulfill a particular numerical quota. That may not be as romantic or, what should we say? Yeah, as romantic as chanting with love and affection and so on. Not only not as romantic, not as satisfying either, because the quota may be required because I have no taste. Durudaivam midrashami hajani nanaraga. Because I have no taste, the spiritual master still may fix a particular number of rounds. Taste or no taste, chant this many. And there's so many places where Srila Prabhupada says that we should strictly follow this principle. Not loosely, not approximately, but we should, first of all, always chant. But particularly, one should chant to satisfy one's promise. But yes, I'll chant this many. And Prabhupada so much emphasized this. If we just chant 16 rounds a day and follow the 4 regulative principles, we can be assured of going back to Godhead. So many different things he said about the spiritual master's first order is the order to chant a certain number of rounds a day, and the devotee must complete that. So, yes, so this is an essential item. And if we neglect it, that's not at all good. Then Guru Avagya, ignoring the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master, and so on. Hare Krishna.
Raveen Prabhu writes, if chanting and meditating on the Lord was the goal/method, why then the severe austerity the Prachetas performed underwater, which wasn't even told by Lord Shiva?
That austerity helps us in chanting, and the austerity itself is pleasing to the Lord. Those are the 2 answers I would give. We saw some, yes. Okay, let me leave it at that. Hope that's all right.
Saraswati Mashi writes, Pranams, Parampuja Gurudev, and all the Vaishnavas. Even though one is chanting with offenses, one can find that, like a demanding child crying for attention, we are also driven to chant even involuntarily.
Yes.
Guru Maharaj, I have a question.
Yes.
Looking at the purport, it says the holy name of the Lord should be chanted 24 hours daily.
Mm.
And then the next sentence is, therefore, in this Krishna conscious movement, we request the devotees to chant at least 16 rounds.
Mm.
Can you explain why we go from 24 hours daily to chanting at least 16 rounds?
And because we can't do 24 hours daily. That's our Prabhupada found that even chanting 64 rounds or 32 rounds was beyond us. So he fixed it at 16 and said not less than that. Otherwise, we should be chanting all the time. But all right, at least chant 16 rounds a day. Is that okay?
Yeah. Is there a point at which the chanting should be happening throughout all activities?
Is there a point at which
The devotee who is advanced would they chant 24 hours daily? Like, would they be constantly thinking about the Hare Krishna mantra 24 hours, or will the advanced devotee still just chant 16 rounds and maybe focusing on other things?
no, if one can, if one has a taste, one can chant more and more. But there's no restriction that I can only chant 16 rounds, at least 16 rounds. If we have more taste, we can chant more. But it's not that if the spiritual master gives us some order to do some practical activities, we should take shelter of chanting. No, I'm chanting. I can't interrupt my chanting. To carry out the orders of the spiritual master, you can interrupt everything. Is that okay?
Yep. I have some other questions on this purport. Oh, we have a question from Praveen Prabhu. Can we say that the fixed counting was introduced by the Goswamis and Haridas Thakur, but not Lord Chaitanya?
No, Lord Chaitanya was also Hari Parshad Prabhu in his extensive seminar on Sri Chaitanya Shikshastak has given evidence that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must have chanted in that way. Is that okay?
Praveen Prabhu writes, thank you. I have another follow-up here, if I may. I may have heard it many years ago when I was first hearing about the Hare Krishna mantra, that Srila Prabhupada may have a heartbeat that was in sync with the Hare Krishna chanting. And
Say that again.
Is that someone made that up?
Say it again. What is it?
Srila Prabhupada had a heartbeat that was in sync with the Hare Krishna chanting.
What is that?
It's just made up.
Of course. First of all, what does it mean? It's in sync with Hare, because Hare Krishna can be chanted at various speeds. So what does that mean even? But this is some sort of folk tale. You know, if you listen to his heart with a stethoscope, you'd find that it's exactly corresponding to, you know, that's no.
I have another follow-up to the report. Bhagavatam Das Goswami was also offering obeisances in the same prolific numbers. May you describe this obeisances?
Yes, you can see this especially in Govardhan. People circumambulate the hill, And some people circumambulate by doing Dandavat Parikrama. Dandavat Parikrama means that they lie down on the ground and stretch their hands out in front of them. And they'll usually have like a rock or some similar object, which they'll put where their hand extends to. Then they'll stand up and they'll move to that position where the rock is, and again offer obeisances. So this is called Dandavat Parikrama. So offering obeisances is one of the functions of Krishna consciousness. Just as we chant, we do so many things. So one of the things is simply to offer obeisances to Krishna, obeisances to the Vaishnavas, and so on. Srila Sanatana Goswami has written a book, Sri Krishna Lila Stava, a book of prayers, really, or glorifications of Krishna. And he keys the verses to particular routine of circumambulation. Hare Krishna.
Rari Gupta Prabhu writes, Hare Krishna Maharaj, my experience is that as well as fulfilling our vow, if we chant 16 rounds every day, even if they are inattentive, the time is there for when they improve. Otherwise, the time will be swallowed up with other activities and it's hard to get back.
Yes, this is an investment of time. It's not that it's something that we have to get over with and then we can start our real service and somehow or other we're forced. No, this is the best way to use our time chanting Hare Krishna. And Krishna will see, yes, this person is sincere. Let me feed him. Let me take care of him. Hare Krishna.
Very much. I have another follow-up to this purport.
Yes.
Prabhupada writes, actually, one has to chant 24 hours daily.
Mm.
Can you unpack that part of what you wrote here?
Can I? Let's see. One has to. I take it to mean should. And has to chant 24 hours a daily. If we have to, as in you must or you're finished, then we're going to be finished. Because how many of us can chant 24 hours like Haridas Thakur? And Prabhupada didn't want us to imitate Haridas Thakur either. According to our tiny size, we can adjust. According to our tiny size, we can adjust. Hare Krishna.
Okay, moving on, unless someone else has some other questions or comments. Okay. Because the princes were ready to enter into some severe austerity in order to worship the Lord, Lord Shiva advised them to constantly chant of and meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is significant that Lord Shiva personally offered his prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just as he was taught by his father, Lord Brahma. Similarly, he was also preaching to the princes according to the parampara system. One not One not only should practice the instructions received from the spiritual master, but should also distribute this knowledge to one's disciples. Gurumaharaj, would you like to comment on this section?
The princes were going to embark on some austerity. So to make the austerity perfect, they were advised to chant the holy name of the Lord. Sri Jiva Goswami also advises that before and after everything, one should chant the holy name. Therefore, that was Prabhupada's pattern. He would hold kirtan, give class, then again hold kirtan. That was his pattern. So before and after every undertaking, chant Hare Krishna. And especially you're going to do some severe austerity, undertake some sacrifice, then chant Hare Krishna and teach others to chant the holy name of Krishna. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Okay, moving on to the next part of the purport. The words Atmanam, Atmastam, Sarva Bhutesh, Avastitam are also significant. The personality of Godhead is the origin of all living entities. Because the living entities are parts and parcels of the Lord, He is the Father of all of them. One can search out the Supreme Lord very easily within one's heart, for He is situated in every living entity's heart. In this verse, the process of worshiping the Lord is considered to be very easy and complete, for anyone can sit down anywhere and in any condition of life and simply chant the holy names of the Lord. By chanting and hearing, one automatically engages in meditation.
The Hare Krishna movement, Srila Prabhupada is giving so much importance to simply chanting Hare Krishna. And if we do that, and especially if we can avoid 10 offenses, how much progress we'll make. Everything should be done under the guidance of the spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Gurumaharaj, I have a follow-up to this question. We address each other as by saying Hare Krishna, and we also say goodbye by Hare Krishna. And it reminded me of, well, actually what you said about Jiva Goswami's instructions reminded me of that. And I wonder if there's a connection between the two. Why we say, and I guess I'm asking, why do we say Hare Krishna as both a greeting and a goodbye and in other ways too?
Because we should chant Hare Krishna as much as possible, or we want to chant Hare Krishna as much as possible. As Prabhupada said, we should chant 24 hours a day. Well, all right, we may not be able to do that. But this chanting of the holy name of Krishna is not different from meditation on Krishna. And we want to meditate on Krishna. We want to think of Krishna. Manmana, Krishna says, think of me. Well, how will I do that? Let me chant Hare Krishna. So if we meet someone, that's an opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. Someone's coming, someone's going. There's everything. Of course, we know about the Gundicha Marjana, cleansing of the Gundicha temple, where the holy name was the indication for everything. If someone needed a broom, he'd say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If he needed a pot, Hare Krishna. Everything was simply Hare Krishna. So that's very wonderful that one can't hear anything else but the holy name. In Ayodhya, there's one Ram Mandir. Of course, I'm going back many, many years before this present Ram Mandir was constructed. But there was at least one important Ram Mandir. And their practice was they would they had arrangements that you can take your meal there. And I remember they make big chapatis, very big. Anyway, they would serve rice, dal, chapatis, whatever, sabji. And as the servers were going around delivering the prasadam to the seated devotees, he would go around like dal ram, dal ram, dal ram, dal ram, chapati ram, like that. The servers would announce or draw attention to the item being served by speaking the name of the item and the name of the Lord. So in that way, this is practice to always vibrate the holy name of the Lord as much as possible. Hare Krishna.
Korean Prabhu writes, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Adavante Cha Madhya Cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. In the Vedic literature, including the Ramayana, Puranas, and Mahabharata, from the very beginning, Ado, to the end, Ante Cha, as well as within the middle, Madhya Cha, only Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is explained.
Yes.
Where is that from?
This is a commentary. Trying to remember whether it's Sridhar Swami's commentary or someone else's commentary. Let's see if I can find it real quickly for you. Quoted by Madhvacharya. It's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Sri Madhvacharya quoted this verse. That's all I know.
Raveen Prabhu writes, Madhvacharya.
Yes, Madhvacharya. Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Adavante Chamadyecha Hari Sarvatrigiyate. Yes, the Vedaishta Sarvaira Hame Vivedya. By all the Vedic literature, I'm the one to be known. So, same message here.
Okay, now moving on. Text 71. Gurmaharaj, do you want to read or should one of us?
You should read, please.
Okay, can I pass it up? Saraswati Mataji, would you like to?
Text 71. Yugadeshamupasadya dharayanto munivratah samahita dhiya sarva etadabhyasya tadritah. Translation. My dear princes, in the form of a prayer, I have delineated the yoga system of chanting the holy name. All of you should take this important stotra within your minds and promise to keep it in order to become great sages. By acting silently like a great sage, and by giving attention and reverence, you should practice this method. Purport. In the Hatha Yoga system, one has to practice bodily exercises, dhyana, dharana, asana, meditation, etc. One also has to sit in one place in a particular posture and concentrate his gaze on the tip of the nose. There are so many rules and regulations for the Hatha Yoga system that it is practically impossible to perform it in this age. The alternative system of Bhakti Yoga is very easy, not only in this age but in others as well. For this yoga system was advocated long ago by Lord Shiva when he advised the princes, the sons of Maharaj Prachani Barisat. The Bhakti Yoga system is not newly introduced, for even 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna recommended this Bhakti Yoga as the topmost yoga, as Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gata nantranartamana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam sameyuktatmo mataha. Of all the yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Guru Maharaj, do you have some comments thus far?
No.
Continue.
Well, yes, that people are trying to follow Hatha Yoga. If they're very serious, then the rules are overwhelming. And if they're not so serious, why do it? But our process from beginning to end is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
The topmost yogi is he who constantly thinks of Krishna within himself and chants the glories of the Lord. In other words, this system of Bhakti Yoga has been existing from time immemorial and is now continuing in this Krishna consciousness movement. The word Munivrata is significant in this regard because those who are interested in advancing in spiritual life must be silent. Silence means talking only of Krishna Katha. This is the silence of Maharaj Amrish. Save mana Krishna padaravinda Vachasmi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnana. King Amrisha always fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord and talked of him only. Bhagavatam 9.4.19. We should also take this opportunity in life to become as good as a great saint, simply by not talking unnecessarily with unwanted persons. We should either talk of Krishna or chant Hare Krishna undeviatingly. This is called Munivrata. The intelligence must be very sharp, samahita dhiyaha, and should always be acting in Krishna consciousness. The words etadabhiya satadritaha indicates that if one takes these instructions from a spiritual master with great reverence, adrata, and practices them accordingly, he will find this Bhakti Yoga process to be very, very easy. Guru Maharaj, comments please.
Well, I don't know that I have more to contribute here. Chant the holy names. This is essentially the medicine for us. NHL Shoti Maya Nashibara Laki. Harinam Mahamantra. Bow to me, Bhagi. Hare Krishna.
Saraswati Mataji, would you like to comment?
Don't really have anything much to add, but I sort of remember. I don't remember exactly which sampradaya. I don't think it's one of the bona fide ones, but I remember once somebody in this sampradaya, they said, "Oh, I saw they weren't allowed to look upon the face of a woman," and I don't know, by accident someone did, and then they said, "Oh, now we all have to everyone has to remain silent for the rest of the day to atone because we looked upon the face of a woman." And there was quite a bit of argument going on because then somebody in the audience said, "Well, didn't you look upon the face of your mother?" And then it just got into this horrible, ugly thing. But it just brought to my mind how Srila Prabhupada talks about how, just all this unnecessary talk with unwanted people and getting into these senseless arguments and debates, which just really is such a waste of time. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Okay. Venkatesh Prabhu, are you available to read? Okay, we have a question. Raveen Prabhu, when do we know a debate is worth pursuing?
We talked about that the other day. One has to know what the Shastras say. One should know what the spiritual master has said. One should be conversant with the scriptures. And finally, one has to depend on Krishna. It's Krishna who's finally in charge of everything. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Venkatesh Prabhu, text 72. Are you available?
Yeah, if the link can be posted on the chat, please.
Pardon? Your audio isn't coming through so clearly, Prabhu.
Yes, I'll just wait for the link on the chat for the verse. I just joined now, sorry.
Okay, I'll send.
Okay. Yes, I'll read text 72. Idam aha purasmakam bhagavan vishwasrikpati Bhrigu adinam atmajanam shishrukshu samsikrish Translation. This prayer was first spoken to us by Lord Brahma, the master of all creators. The creators, headed by Bhrigu, were instructed in these prayers because they wanted to create. Purport. Lord Brahma was created by Lord Vishnu. Then Lord Brahma created Lord Shiva and other great sages, headed by Bhrigu Muni. These great sages included Bhrigu, Marichi, Atreya, Vasishta, and others. All these great sages were in charge of creating population. Since there were not very many living entities in the beginning, Vishnu entrusted Brahma with the business of creation. And Brahma in turn created many hundreds and thousands of demigods and great sages to continue with the creation. At the same time, Lord Brahma cautioned all his sons and disciples by reciting the prayers now recited by Lord Shiva. Material creation means material engagement, but material engagements can be counteracted if we always remember our relationship with the Lord, as that relationship is described in these prayers recited by Lord Shiva. In this way, we can remain constantly in touch with the Supreme Person of Godhead. Thus, despite our engagement in the creation, we cannot be deviated from the path of Krishna consciousness. The Krishna conscious movement is especially meant for this purpose. In this material world, everyone is engaged in some particular duty, particular occupational duty, which is prescribed in the Varnashrama Dharma, Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, and everyone are engaged in their occupational duty. But if one remembers his first duty, keeping in constant contact with the Supreme Person of Godhead, everything will be successful. If one simply executes the rules and regulations of the Varnashram Dharma in the role of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and keeps busy and does not remember one's eternal relationship with the Lord, one's business and activities as well as occupational duties will simply be a waste of time. This is confirmed in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharmas manushritapam sa vishvaksena kathasu notpadayate yadi ratim srama eva hi kevalam. This conclusion is that even if one is busy executing his occupational duty, his business in Krishna consciousness need not be hampered. He has simply to execute the devotional service of Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing, chanting, and remembering. One need not abandon his occupational duty. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam jatam swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manaha. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. Thus, one can continue with his occupational duty if he worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Lord Shiva herein prescribes. He attains perfection of his life. Swanushtitasya dharmasya samsiddhi haritoshana. We should continue executing our occupational duties, but if we try to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by our duties, then our lives will be perfected.
Yes, this is in the second canto, big theme. Lord Brahma is supposed to create, but he's concerned that if I create so many living beings in terms of the three modes of nature, I may also be entangled by these material modes. But the Lord assures him that if Lord Brahma acts in Krishna consciousness, then everything will be all right. For us also, we want to act. We're meant to act. We have prescribed duties to carry out, either in terms of our material responsibilities or some particular mission in Krishna consciousness, but we don't want to be the same. We recognize that all around us the material nature is acting, and we don't want to be entangled. But the recommended solution for us is not to go off someplace, secluded location, and chant the holy name to become purified. The request, rather, is that one should go on chanting the holy name of the Lord. I hope that's all right. I'm a little tired, but I hope that we're making sense. Saraswati has a hand up.
Guru Maharaj, while I was reading about the glories of Navdvip, Mahima, I came across where they talked about Lord Shiva. Of course, he's there as a guardian in the form of Vrid Shiva, but also it said at Varnashi that Lord Shiva, he begs everyone to accept the name of Gorachandra, to chant that, and that he delivers the jivas there while they're leaving their body by helping them chant Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name. And also it said that at Rudradvip, the 11 Rudras forever reside there, chanting the names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So my question is that earlier we had read how these 11 Rudras, that one Rudra is scared of the other Rudra. So I'm not sure how, in that context, how can we then understand where it said that these 11 Rudras, they live all permanently in Navdvip, Rudradvip, and they're always chanting Mahaprabhu's name. So why would one Rudra then be scared? Or could that be that it happened in a different kalpa?
Well, I don't know the details of this, but there's hierarchy everywhere. even, among Americans, there's hierarchy. Among teachers, there's hierarchy. In every department, there's hierarchy. So it appears that among the Rudras also, there's hierarchy, and one is acknowledged to be superior to the others. Hare Krishna.
Oh, right. Actually, Guru Maharaj, you're absolutely right, because it said the leader of these 11 Rudras was Nila Lohita Shiva. So yeah, there's a hierarchy. Sorry, I completely missed that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, we're gonna stop for kirtan after this comment from Praveen Prabhu. At the Jarikhanda forest, the tigers and deers danced together.
Yes.
Okay. Krishna Kaunteya Prabhu, could you lead kirtan, please? Okay, and then just one more comment. Dealing with material energy seems difficult, management, etc., though it's part of devotional service, Venkatesh Prabhu writes.
Yes, that's an austerity also, to be engaged in so many activities. But anyway, the point is made. We should do everything for Krishna. Yata pravitir bhutana yena sarvamidam tatam. Act for Krishna. That will help us. The practical activities will help us in meditation. Meditation will help us in practical affairs. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Haribo Haribo Gora Haribo Nita Gora Haribo Haribo Gora Haribo Nita Gora Premanande Hari Haribo. Vishnu Badaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Gurudas Itinamine Ma'am Vishnu Badaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvisesha Srinivadi Paskacha Desharne Namo Brahmaya Devaya Go Brahmanadaya Cha Viradhirudaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
You're muted, Guru Maharaj.
So it is. Thank you, Krishna Kantiya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Holiness Jayādvaita Swami ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Haribo, Haribo, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.